Hey and welcome to my channel. In my last video, I shared how to get the best cut and engrave settings for black acrylic using the xTool M1. And today I'll be sharing how to make a QR code sign with those settings. I designed this project using xTool Creative Space. The person who requested this sign had a very specific idea in mind, so it made it very simple to create. I have the basic octagon shape, and on a separate canvas is the attachable stand, borders that go around the QR codes, and icons for platforms she accepts payments in. In yellow, I have the score lines, and the blue will be the engravings. If you'd like to give the sign a try on your own, I have a link to the design file in the description below. After creating the design, I sent it over to my xTool M1 to start lasering. Now I actually started with the purple acrylic for this project, but ran into a lot of issues, which unfortunately you'll see soon.
Came out pretty good. Nice clean cut on the black acrylic. It's so much easier than this crazy purple that I've been trying to work with. But these are engraved. I scored out the emblems here so I know where to place them with the purple. And then I made a little tab at the bottom for when I do make the stand, and I sit right in.
These pieces have been giving me such a problem. This purple acrylic has been so inconsistent. I've been getting results like this. This was a test to actually use the acrylic using a table saw. What I'm doing now is, because I've gotten such ridiculous results with the laser cutter, I'm going to be cutting out the insides because I can at least do that much. Then I'm going to be using the table saw to cut the outsides.
Moving right along to the QR codes. I use this QR code generator. I can put the link in the description, and essentially you just copy and paste where you want the QR code to go, and it generates this little code for you, and then you can download it as an image and print it out. I used Canva to just kind of get all these on the same page. Some of these were given to me by the person who requested the sign, and some of the other ones I had to generate. So I decided the best route would be to use my thermal printer to print this out, just to kind of save some time with getting it to stick because it already has an adhesive back. Then I'll be using the xTool M1 to cut these out so that they fit into the sign.
Okay, now onto the engraving piece. On black acrylic, it'll look like this. Now it kind of already has a bit of a white shade to it, but I was hoping to pop this out to make it extremely white. So I'd watched a tutorial from that mom with a laser. If you haven't checked her out, she is pretty helpful with some laser projects. But she'd used this, found at my local Dollar Tree. I actually got two. I got this one and a gold one, but for this project I'm going to try the white.
Finding that it works better when you just kind of go in circles. Yeah, definitely moving in a circular motion helps it to find its way into all the grooves. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and unmask this and see how clean it is. Or maybe I should wipe it and then see how clean it is. Okay, let's try that. Okay, that looks pretty good.
After removing all of the masking tape, just to clean up the sign a little bit, I used some regular packing tape and rubbed it on with this scraper to remove some of the excess chalk marker. At this point, the sign was looking pretty good, but I did go in a second time with the chalk marker just to bring out the white a little bit more. I didn't totally abandon the purple acrylic. I know we haven't seen it since the beginning of this video, but I realized my fault. I ended up going with semi-opaque acrylic, and I made it very clear in my last video that opaque acrylic is the only thing that this xTool M1 will cut. So, lesson learned, but moving on. After swapping out the honeycomb plate and attaching the blade cutter, I was able to cut out the QR codes that I printed earlier. Once I had all my pieces, it was time to assemble using super glue. Quick tip: if you have to assemble pieces and want the best accuracy, you can create a jig using either a scrap piece of wood or a piece of cardboard. That way, it's like reverse operation and the pieces just fall into place. I then used the top of that jig as a guideline to match up the bottoms of the QR codes so that they would all sit straight. Off camera, I did end up cutting out the purple borders. It took me a while, but I finally figured out a speed, power, and pass combo that would get it to cut through. Now there was some charring, but I was able to get rid of it by wet sanding each of the pieces. I had a couple of these rubber stoppers, rubber bumpers, I'm not really sure what they're called, but I thought they would be good for the bottom of the stand to keep it from slipping and sliding. And after 3 days of learning, patience, and cursing at the stars, I finally completed my very first acrylic QR code sign that would be used by a small business, and I was pretty proud of. So please take the lessons that you learned in this video and apply it to your own QR code sign, and don't make the mistake I did. Use completely opaque acrylic if you're using an M1. I hope this video was useful, and thanks for watching.